Okay, so we are now joined by my good friend, Chilean TV's very own Hugo Morales. How are
Oh,
you?
come on. Hey, how are you? It's really great to be here with you and looking forward to see you on track.
I know, and the last time I saw you was exactly a year ago at the São
Yeah.
Paulo E-Prix. It's a shame that neither of us could be there for it this year, but we have a lot to talk about, including the São Paulo E-Prix as well. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me and a big hello from the end of the world to all the people that listen to the podcast.
So for people who don't know you, Hugo, tell us a little bit about what you do when you go to Formula E races.
Besides enjoying a lot and rooting for my team, which I'm not disclosing because reasons.
I didn't know you
Maybe
had a
I'll do it.
team.
Yeah, I do have a team, of course. But then, yeah, the things that I do, I take some pictures. I work as a photographer over there. But I also report for different media, including my own media, which now is kind of it's a little frozen right now because of my proper job. Right, it's taking a lot of me. Um, and the other things that I do, of course, I preach the word about Formula E with my friends, my colleagues, my circle of influence, if you want to put it like that. And yeah, it's been hard, even in Chile, considering that we have races in Chile. But
Hmm.
there's still people that don't get the idea behind Formula E
How long have you been following Formula E?
since race one. Actually, I
Wow.
have to say, I was there when the first car was presented um, on CES many years ago, before the first race. So yeah, I got to
Wow.
see Lucas Di Grassi doing donuts on Las Vegas, and it was actually really good to be there, to know more about the race, and of course, it was something that I was going to follow from day one. I think the only races that I haven't seen were the races where we were together, basically one in Monaco and one in Sao Paulo, and that's it.
Yeah. I think I've realized from my only, I guess, couple of years being in the Formula E paddock, if you want to take good pictures, you don't watch the race. In fact, you don't even know what's going on. And
Like, yeah,
you, like myself, we tend to run into the media pen afterwards as well. And I find it hilarious that I am literally looking on my phone to see who won or to see like who came where because you're watching it and yeah, you generally get an idea of where people are. You know, you're not completely oblivious to it, but you aren't following it as closely as you would be if you were on TV. I know that sounds really, really obvious, but to me, it was a surprise when I first started going to these races. I was trying to follow what was going on, but then obviously you're trying to capture the moment as well.
my first race was Monaco. So no, no, it wasn't my first race. Of course, my first race was Santiago 2017, if I'm not mistaken, when we raced in the very center of the city. Some drivers were not that amazed with the potholes that we have here in Chilean streets, but I mean, it was jumped out 2 blocks away from my home, roaming around and watching the track. And I was like, oh my God, this is happening in front of my door. Of course, I have to be involved. And then that was the thing. When Santiago was part of of the championship, I was involved in some kind of way. Yeah, it was quite an honor. And I'm sure we are going to look back to those races in Chile, uh, let's say 5 years, 6 years from now, and there will be some people banging their heads on the table, saying, "How did we lose this?"
Yeah. I think that's one of the best things about Formula E. Last week we had Alice Holloway from the race here, and she was saying that is what makes Formula E like special is the fact that they go into the heart of the cities. Yes, there's disruption. Yes, it is an inconvenience. But for the fans, you just rock up. You go outside your house. You go a few blocks down the road. It's incredible to have that. It's a real shame, actually. I recall last year when we were in Sao Paulo, you were saying, I really hope that they come back to Chile. Instead, they've opted for a different type of South American race, which is Sao Paulo. As I said, we were there last year in its inaugural season. What are your thoughts of the Samba? I'm going to try and say this. What are your thoughts of the Sambodromo and the racetrack
Yeah.
as a whole? And also, I
Well,
butchered that pronunciation.
no, no, you did great. Now you do it in Portuguese.
Oh, thank you so much. That was just Northern. That was just English. Yeah,
No,
Sambodromo. How would you
Sambódromo, Sambódromo
Sambodromo.
ANMB.
There we go.
See,
For the audience listening, that is how you say
kind of.
Sambodromo.
Yeah, yeah, your pronunciation is almost perfect for that.
Thank you. I appreciate
Almost
it.
perfect. So, oh, well, we walked the track together and we saw how irregular the asphalt was in
Yeah,
the after after track 1 and 2, sorry, turn 1 and 2, in the chicane after the main straight. That was actually really bad last year, and I think this year was corrected.
mm,
So I saw it just on TV, but I think it was corrected. I didn't see any car jumping and going around over there, so that was good. Then
didn't hear anyone
again,
complaining about it either.
no, no, no. Last year, I remember some drivers complaining about that
Yeah,
entrance over there, going to the back straight, which was actually pretty bumpy again. Those are
yeah,
service roads, but then when you are like three in a row, a three wide over there, and the third car was jumping and jumping and jumping. It looked like this tracks that go around the stadiums.
yeah.
So yes, it was nice to see that layout. I liked the layout in Sao Paulo. Um, I'm not completely sold about the idea of just doing it there. I think
Mhm.
Sao Paulo might make the case to do an actual street track in the center.
Interesting.
I would love to see that race going in the very center of the city. But of course, Formula E is transitioning to these private places that are near the
These sort of
streets.
hybrid street
Yeah,
circuits.
yeah, and it's a thing. It's happening, and since the cars are getting faster and lighter, of course, the streets won't be the best scenario to do
Yeah.
this in a safe way. So yeah, I totally get that, but I also miss that time when tracks were just regular streets. But then again, I think Sao Paulo is great. You have to be aware that it's a track that is in Brazil. Brazil is super hot. Do you remember the sun over there last year? It was extremely scorching.
Yeah, that walk down to turn 1 as well, like, it on the TV, I realized I was watching the highlights again earlier. It doesn't seem that long, but that start finish straight is super, super far away, and the podium itself happens at one end of it, and you have to, again, choose to go to one or to the media center, And then the stadiums themselves, the grandstands are open air, and so you have the scorching Brazilian sun, Brazilians themselves like complaining about the heat. If they're complaining about it, then you know that
Yeah.
it's I think that there was talk of it being a night race or happening in the evening. I would welcome that. I would welcome it being more of an
Yeah.
evening event. I think it would suit it. It's a track that is designed for the carnival, and obviously that goes on till the early hours of the morning. Right? It
Yeah.
is a 24-hour venue. So I would welcome a night race. I think that would be more welcoming for the fans.
And
Yeah.
yes, of course, it might need some extra lighting in the back straight, maybe in the back part of the circuit. But the most interesting part, maybe that huge main straight is already ready to go in the dark. So yeah, that might be a great way to make a good race in the night. The only thing that I might think that won't be working, it won't be working for European public. It should be like a super late race, and I think Formula E today needs all the eyeballs that can get.
Mm.
So if you go that way in Latin America, yeah, people in Europe might not be watching the race.
That's an interesting observation, actually, because I think that's why I suppose that's why they're gambling with Tokyo, which is happening at 7 a.m. Europe time. So it is just about okay. It's 8 a.m., 7 a.m. Like you can wake up, you can watch the race. It is borderline fine for
That
Europe.
that's my go-to time to see actually Formula One. I grew up
Of
waking up
course.
extremely early on Sundays because of you guys.
Because we can't wake up early. It's too much of an inconvenience for us. We're enormously spoiled in Europe for the
I
race
envy
times.
you so much.
Last year, the race was the very first time the Gen 3 cars had seen the kind of peloton effect, the way in which you don't want to lead the race. They went into it knowing what was going to happen. And so when the race started, Pascal Wehrlein, who was on pole, he had such a big lead from the offset, from the get go. And I think he wondered, like, what am I doing here? Uh-oh, I've realized
Yeah.
that everyone is holding back. Clearly, he's just looking out in front of him. Uh, I think that was a mistake from Pascal.
It's kind of maybe for some people unseen in motorsports. Some people are not into that. They love to see races that are like all out, full gas, full
Mm.
full electricity, basically. But you need to uh, go around regen a lot to do some stuff to actually make the end of the race. So when it comes to this kind of races, I love that you have to be extra careful and have some maybe extreme strategies to make it to the end and have a shot. We saw DS Penske going back and back and back because bad calls of strategy. They have a really good car, but um, they bought
Yep.
the strategy. So
Strategy was
I
key for this race in particular,
yeah
and they lowered the electricity amount. The power that was allowed for this race was lower than it was last year, by I think 1.5 kilowatts. And so straight away they're going into this with less energy than they had last year. But they knew that. They should have
yeah,
accounted for that.
and they can't because they have to follow this strategy, and yeah, might be a little frustrating for some people that you get to see that no one actually wants to be on first place. When Sam was first, I thought that, oh my God, they are just letting him leave. And I thought that, yeah, maybe Mitch was doing a good thing to actually get to the first place. When Mitch overtook Sam, I thought that, yeah, that's it. Race is over. And I'm super glad that it wasn't the case.
Yeah, it was an incredible it was a grandstand finish, I think I've seen it be called. It was last year as well, so we've had 2 years in a row where the race went down to the final lap, like, 2 years in a row. Uh, for what an incredible poster for Formula E that is. To be able to go to a race and or to watch a race on TV, especially one as you say, in a region where maybe it hasn't sold out yet, maybe if you put it later in the day, it's going to mean less people watch it. But a race like Sao Paulo is becoming, it's becoming a classic. It's becoming one of those tracks that I think I'm personally looking forward to going back to watching on TV again. I know other people who I know who've watched Formula E uh, were really, really impressed with the quality of the racing. And so I think, two grandstand finishes in a row is a good advertisement for Formula E.
Formula E, I'm glad that we are past that trend that even when the race was over, some kind of sketchy penalty
Yeah,
just shuffled the things again. And yeah, I don't know, Jeb won, and then no, Jeb now is
is banned for
it's
yeah.
I don't know, it's disqualified, and now I don't know. Pascal won. I don't know. I love to celebrate or grieve if my driver wins or loses, or if my team wins or loses.
Your
But
mysterious
then,
team.
yeah, yeah, and then I think it's not a good look to let the the FIA do some reshuffling of the order, and
Mm.
it added to the idea that Formula E was not serious in that. And um, and I'm really glad that this was again the case. It was unpredictable, and I know when Mitch was first over there, I thought that, yeah, he's gonna run away.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think every
Jaguar
any other
super
driver I would
fast.
have thought, but because it's Jaguar and 'cause it's Evans, right?
Yeah,
I would have I genuinely thought it was done, only because it was, Mitch Evans and Jaguar. If it were any other team, I would have thought, "This is not over." Like, Sam is, clearly on a roll here, but because it was Jaguar, they've been doing well, because it's Evans, I thought it was done, and I especially after last year as well.
yeah.
So what did you think of the move?
I think I'm still screaming at the TV. I was
Can
I
you
I was
recreate the
watching the
moment
race.
for us?
No, to me it was like cursing in Chilean. I was cursing in Chilean. So many bad words that I'm not gonna repeat here. But yeah, it was a loud screaming over there, and I was, oh my God, I can't believe it. Yes, finally, Sam. I was screaming all over my house. My sister came out and told me, like, what are you doing? You mad person. And I tried to explain her, but yeah, she was not getting it, and I was too excited. And I'm so glad that finally, Sam finished that draw. How do you say it? Draw. Yeah, the he finally uh broke out from that awful season of not getting anything, not even a single win. I really thought that after Jaguar, he was um he wasn't done, but he was not going to be on a position to have a win again, unless Formula E again and the unpredictability of of the races put
Yeah.
him on the exact place in the exact time to get the win. And that's the reason, because if you give him a good car and a good strategy, and he gets to be the number one of the team, he might surprise you. I'm glad for the team. So even Ian James was so relaxed and relieved that he was celebrating, and he was used to celebrate every single week with Mercedes, and that
Yeah.
organization really had an awful time. And yeah, McLaren needed to be on top. We always look forward to McLaren to be the guys that are going that extra mile. And of course, it's so good to see them thriving again.
Yeah, completely agree. I think it's been a difficult transition period. I don't think that's unfair to say, but I'm glad to see McLaren doing well again. I've seen Zach Brown come to a couple of races. He wasn't there this weekend. Maybe
He
sometimes when
missed
he's
out.
there, yeah, he missed out, but maybe I can imagine when he's there, there's added pressure. So, congrats to them and to Sam. Sam is I'm gonna share it. He is my mum's favorite driver. Like, she
Whoa.
is, like, one of his biggest fans. I went home at Christmas, and there was, like, a shrine to Formula E in the corner of the room. It was amazing. And then, like, the autograph poster of Sam Bird was, like, in the middle. So
I need. So she sounds like a really, really wise lady.
yeah, she clearly, had a wonderful weekend watching the São Paulo E-Prix, so she was delighted with the result. I wasn't watching it with her, but I think I heard her from Manchester. I'm in London, that's only 200 miles. I think I heard her. I think most of London heard her, so yeah, and then
Oh
finally,
my
I
god.
guess I want to ask you about your thoughts on Oliver Rowland. So he got pole last time around in Diriyah. Again, big surprise. He's one of those people that has kind of had a very unusual year because obviously he left Mahindra, he's back again now, and not only did he make his way through the field, but he did that incredible overtake on I think three cars at the end to get that photo finish. Uh,
Uh,
Outstanding. What do you think?
I was still screaming for Sam, and they did this. They made this replay of the Roland move, and it was so cool. If you see that he was three wide on the very last moments of the race. This I don't know. It was like 10 or 20 centimeters. He was ahead of the other cars, and he went from fifth to third. And couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I think he was so cool. He had again another rough year last year, and he deserves all the things, all the good things. He's a fan favorite.
Mm,
He might not be maybe the most charismatic guy in the paddock, but he is a guy who gives everything every race, and you
mm,
get to see that. Uh, and it's great to see him again in with Nissan. I'm a little worried again for ERT ex Neo.
yeah.
Um, they are not doing good, and they are not that they're trying to do everything right again, and they are not doing they are not winning anything. They are having a really rough time again. Then Tictum 16, and Sete Camara was disqualified, I guess. So
Yeah,
yeah,
little things like that. Ah, they need to get those things right. Like that
yeah.
is the basics of the sport, right? At least give your drivers the best chance possible. Whether they
Exactly.
can do it or not is up to them, but give them the best chance. Don't make these little mistakes. It is quite careless, actually. I know it was an error, but yeah, when you're already having a tough time, you don't want to make it harder for yourself. Yeah.
And the guy that I'm looking forward to see do better, Sebastian Buemi. He's showing some splashes of recovery. The team is great. The team is pushing a lot and doing good. But I think Sebastian Buemi might be still like uncomfortable with this generation
Mm,
of cars. So looking forward to see him do better. Lucas Di Grassi deserves better too.
yeah.
And I don't know. I want to see Nick doing great again, but I think it's not going to be this year. Maybe next year.
Yes, and obviously he's not racing either of the Berlin E-Prix as
Yeah.
well, as we found out this week. Same with Buemi as well. So it's tough. They've made their decision and um, they can't race. Um, I want to get your prediction for the end of the season. I've
Ooh.
asked everyone, who's your money on right now?
I'm not a big I'm not big in betting, but I think I can do the best I can do is one quid. So my full quid is going to um Mitch Evans.
Sound
He
bet,
is
I would say.
he's gonna be the champion. They finally going to be the champions. And I love to see Mitch Evans being the champion of the series. I think he deserves it. It's a long time coming. So yeah, and the organization really needs it. I know they are doing good. They are great, actually. They're great guys and girls doing their best over there. And I think it will be Mitch Evans.
Thank you for sharing your predictions. I think your favorite team is Envision. Am I
Do
wrong?
you think that? Yes, you are wrong.
Yes. Oh, damn. Okay,
You
fine.
are very wrong.
Ugh,
I thought
all
that
right.
you were going to realize that my team was Tichira.
Oh, I didn't
So
know that.
now my team is DS. DS
Penske.
Penske. You can't fail with gold and black.
Well, unless the strategy goes wrong,
Uh,
which is
unless you fail,
happened.
and when you fail, you actually fail really bad.
It's
Yeah,
fair.
I love to suffer, so yeah, why not? Penske.
Yeah, like you say, breathe.
Exactly, exactly. Oh, they really need to step up.
Yeah. Next up next up is Tokyo. And then
Are you
if
going there?
no, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm really
I thought that you were going there.
I was
That's your race. You have to
it
be there.
is. Thank you for saying that,
It
Hugo.
it
I
was
am
made for
really
you.
devastated. I will go next year. I'm saying this. I will go, and I am also planning to do Sao Paulo next year. I love Sao Paulo. I love Brazil. That is definitely one of my priorities. Um, yeah, sadly no Tokyo.
Yeah, but well, you can say that Monaco is not too shabby actually.
It's not bad. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like lifestyle choices, it's fine. It's an okay race. I'll just go to Monaco.
And
Yeah,
go there and have a drink on the tip top bar. Please go. Please do. Do it for me.
you told me about that, and I didn't note it. I will now that we are broadcasting this. I will go to that bar track action. In fact, let me show you this. I know if people are listening, they can't see, but I'm holding up my new camera right
Whoa,
now. This
what's that?
is this is a
Canon?
Canon 5D Mark III and a 70 to 200 mil lens. Because you know that I just use my little Fuji X100F, which is a beautiful camera. It's a great camera.
I
But this
love it.
beast is coming to Monaco with me. So
And
finally, I will look like I belong with the other photographers, which is what I wanted to do all along. So there you go.
Danny will take you to the places where he took me to take some pictures. Please have yourself the best of the times over there. I'm looking
Thank you.
forward to see your photos.
Thank you. And yes, Danny knows all of the secret shot locations for the racetrack. He's a
Are
good
you
companion.
joining? Are you joining Alice over there?
Yes, likely. I will see her as well. So
Oh,
yeah,
so
it'll
good.
be a reunion, except without yourself, Hugo. Please come to Monaco next year so we can all be together again and
If I
do the
start
rounds.
working now, might be arriving there on time. But yeah, I also have a new camera, so yeah, I'm looking forward to take it to Monaco. But I'm looking forward to see all the people in the paddock. Sam Smith from the race and Alice,
Of
they
course.
do a great job over there. So yeah, looking forward to see you all around you over there, guys. So thank you for having me. Thank you to all the people that listen to the podcast. It's great to see your growth in this area. Keep going.
Thank you, my friend.